All right, guys, welcome back. Here is page number 2, and I'm going to start out. This page is worth 13 points total. Question number 4 has 2 parts. Each part's worth a point, so it's 2 total points. And let's go ahead and look at part A. It wants us to convert 120 degrees, so 120 degrees. I need to convert that into radians, which means I need to multiply by a scale factor. And this scale factor that I need to multiply by has to be something that is equivalent to 1. And we said pi and 180. We have pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. So if you remember, if I want to get rid of the degrees tab, I need to put degrees since it's on top. I need a degree on the bottom, so I'll put my 180 degrees on the bottom. I will put pi radians on the top. And that will then allow me to cancel degree with degree. And multiply 120 times pi, which is 120 pi, and over top of 180. And simplify that fraction. If you put in 120 over 80, that simplifies to 2 pi over 3. So that is 2 pi over 3 radians, or 2/3 pi radians. All right, and for for letter B, I have 5 over 6 pi, all right, or that is 5 pi over 6. And again, I want to multiply that by, those are radians. So put in rad, so we know that those are radians. So I want to multiply that by something equivalent to 1, so I want to get rid of radians, so I'll put my pi radians on the bottom, put my 180 degrees on the top. Now let's see what cancels. Well, radians cancel radians. Pi cancels pi. And I'm left with 5 times 180 over 6. So 5 times 180 over 6. I'll grab a calculator here. I don't know what 5 times 180 is. 5 times 180 is 900 over 6, which is 150 degrees. So 150 degrees. All right, now we're going to take a look at this group here. Questions 5, 6, 7, each are worth 1 point. So this group here is worth 3. So I'm just going to kind of put this off to the side. You'll probably notice some sort of a number or something up above the 8. It's somewhere in this grouping here. All right, but this is a group of 3 questions. Each are worth 1 point each. So as I take a look at question number 5, I do see that I have 2 tangents, 2 radii. So the tangent touches the radius at 90 degrees. So both of these 2 angles have to be 90s. And it makes up a 4-sided figure, which means all of these angles have to add up to 360. So I need to do 35 plus 90 plus x plus another 90 has to equal 360. So add them all up, make sure it equals 360. Well, if I do that, I end up just taking 360, and I'll subtract 90, subtract 90, subtract 35, and x would be 145 degrees. So we got a point for that. All right, for question number 6, that tells us that the perimeter of this triangle is 76. And I want to find x. So we know that a tangent, if 2 tangents meet, then they are equidistant from their point of tangency. So if this top little piece is 5, then the left side would be 5. The right side over there, 25, would give me another 25 down there. And this x would be that x. All right, so this is perimeter. Just add up all the pieces. X plus x is 2x. 5 plus 5 is 10. 25 plus 25 is 50. Add up all the pieces, and it has to equal the perimeter, which we know is 76. All right, well, combine like terms, that's 2x plus 60 is 76. Subtract 60 on both sides. 2x is 16, and then divide by 2. So x is 8. So that would be 8 inches. If you want to put inches on there, you can. All right, number 7 talks about, we have another tangent. It says AB is tangent to the circle C. Find the radius. Well, I know if that's a tangent, then that's 90 degrees. And I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem here. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So the legs are R, so R squared plus 15 squared is equal to 17 squared. So that means R squared plus 225 is equal to 17 squared, which is 289. So subtract 225 from both sides. So R squared is 64. And then I would have to square root it, and R is the square root of 64. Now I want to say something here. I had a lot of people put plus or minus, which is an awesome answer, really, mathematically, because the square root of 64 is plus or minus 8. However, you're talking about the radius of a circle, and a radius of a circle would never be negative 8. So this is what we actually call the principal root. So the principal root here is 8. So each question there was 1 point apiece, giving that grouping there a grand total of 3. All right, and now we jump down here to the bottom. And question 8, part A has 3, B has 1, C has 4. So you guessed it, this question is worth a whopping 8 points. So this is a big one, 3, 1, and 4. So in letter A, I can see that I have this semicircle. I have a diameter cutting through, which means the bottom half of this thing is 180 degrees. The top half is also 180 degrees. So if I have 95 in the upper right, I need to do 180 minus 95, which is 85 for this other side. So A has to be 85 degrees. All right. To find B, here's my angle B. The arc across from B is 95 degrees. And since B is an inscribed angle, I can do half of 95 degrees is 47.5 degrees. 47.5 degrees. And then for C, C is also an inscribed angle. It is across from an arc of 180 degrees. So half of 180 is 90 degrees. So there's your first 3 points. For part B, you needed to know that there is, anytime you have an inscribed quadrilateral, meaning you have a 4-sided figure inside of a circle, that opposite angles are supplementary. Opposite angles are supplementary, which means they have to add up to 180. So 134 plus x has to equal 180. So subtract 134 on both sides, and you get an answer of 46 degrees. X would have to be 46 degrees. And then for part C, if this is angle A is an inscribed angle for the blue arc that I just drew in. That would be angle A is inscribed, which means it is half of that arc. Half of 60 is 30 degrees. For B, there's B. Angle B is an inscribed angle as well. Angle B's arc is 84 degrees. So half of 84 is 42 degrees. Find C. Here's angle C. Angle C makes up this big arc here, and it's actually, that arc is so big it takes up two pieces. So that is 60 and 100. So this big arc here is actually 160. So half of 160 is 80, another inscribed angle. And then to find D, this arc right here has to get me to 360 degrees. So as I go around this thing, I have 84, I have another 60, I have 100, so I need to figure out what would give me 360. So I end up taking 360 and I will subtract 100, I'll subtract 60, I'll subtract 84, and I end up with 116 degrees for that one. So that page is all done. See you on page 3.